Hello to all of my BPTV friends, Facebook friends, YouTube friends. I'm Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. We're here to do my 34th Maria's Ideas Teaches Us to Paint.
Hi friends, welcome back. If you've been with us before, we are here at Johno's Art Studio in the Southside Slopes of Pittsburgh. If you're ever in the area, stop by. We are so excited to have our very talented friend, Bob Miller, from Steve and the Millers. That's a band if you've heard him before. And he's going to play, he brought his hammered dulcimer and he's going to play a song for us first before we start our show. Okay.
Can't wait to hear it.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're
it was
welcome.
amazing. So relaxing. I feel like, now I'm good. I don't even need my lavender oil right now to calm me down. So,
Maria, I agree with
Right?
you. I'm so amazed. He made musical song, and I don't see any letters, numbers, or anything for him to hit.
So beautiful.
And it was perfect.
Thank you.
My amateur ears, you're top notch.
And
Thank you, Bob.
Can I ask a question? Is it called a hammered dulcimer because you're using
Yep.
the little hammer?
And
So
that's what
as
those are
opposed
called,
to
hammers.
what other kind of dulcimer is
So
there?
there's the mountain dulcimer, which is kind of the teardrop shape. It has 3 or 4 strings, and it
I've
sits
seen-
on your
yeah.
lap. You play it
That's
that
what I've
way.
seen
Like a
when
Yeah.
pick or something?
when
Okay.
Maria said dulcimer, that's what I thought of.
Yes.
They're not
Okay.
related to each other at all.
Okay,
but they
because
both
when you
have
brought
the
those little
name
things out, I'm like,
dulcimer.
oh, okay. So I loved it. It was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
Happy to get to play it for you.
Yes.
Another
So,
first on Maria's Ideas teaches us to
that's
paint.
right. We like firsts here. So Bob and his talent and his beautiful, talented wife, Stephanie, also plays a harp, and she probably plays other instruments too. I know he plays many different ones. So Bob inspired this. It is the Healing Power of Music is what I titled this one. Colors for this time of year in October, the fall, and just something very kind of zen, relaxing, someone sitting maybe in nature listening to music. So that's what we came up with. But as always, I will teach you step by step, but you feel the music, feel the paint, whatever. You just do whatever you want with it. You can mix colors differently. You can
Just
use
get
them
paint
differently.
on the board.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not
I
on
can do that.
you, if you
That's
can
right.
help. Just had to do it, and I did a show once with the Power of Musical Healing, where a friend of mine, this Eric Lawrence, he kept a dog alive that had cancer for 2 years playing his flute.
It's very healing.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of it.
We
and
say
I
that all the
believe in it.
time, art
Yes.
and music.
Just had to emphasize, think about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'll paint. I'm ready.
All right. So I will just show you guys real quick what we did. So we have them pre-drawn. I base painted the canvas yellow. I mixed the yellow, gold, and white, and I just very rough texture. I like having those brush strokes in there. We base painted that. That gives us that warm tone underneath all of the colors. You can let it peek through, which is interesting to do. And to draw it, I have a 10-minute tutorial on my YouTube channel. Or if you say work on your computer, you could draw something on your iPad or your computer. You could print it out. We use 11 by 14 here. Panels, just because of the bounce. I don't like the bounce so much. My husband Johno loves the bounce of the canvases. I don't. I'm used to painting on walls. But anyway, so this I printed out, and then I use transfer paper, which you can get online or craft stores. It's a graphite transfer paper, which works like carbon paper. So you would lay it down, lay that underneath, trace over. So that's how we did that. Or you could just draw it directly onto the canvas or whatever you're using. Just wait for that base color to dry. All right. And like I said, the reason, instead of starting with the white, we typically usually do, but over the years, I've really been inspired to put the base colors down, and I usually do that when I paint murals or custom work. So I thought, why not start doing it here? It's just more fun. It just sets the tone and the vibe for everything. So we're going to get started. So we have the yellow already here. So we can add more, but we're going to play off of that yellow here, and we usually start, so we're painting with acrylics. I have a brown, a white, a yellow, orange, black. This blue is a very rich blue, phthalo blue, and then a warm red. So what we're going to do is start with the background, which you usually do with acrylics, and it's just layers. That's all it is, just layers you build up. Dark to light is usually what you do in most cases.
And Maria, you've taught me about the light source.
Yes.
I know where it is.
You do? Yes. It's behind the head.
It's obvious
right
this
there.
time.
That's
yes.
right.
See, we all knew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then now I created this in a way where the trees are very simple, more stylized trees. I wanted the focus I wanted this to just kind of keep it simple, more about like maybe the thought process
I
of
thank you,
maybe
Maria.
someone
Thank
sitting
you.
there listening to music. And so when you paint with acrylics, dark colors recede, light colors come forward. However, when you're doing landscapes of some kind, the lighter color should be in the distance, which is aerial perspective, atmospheric perspective. That's what gives it depth. Bolder colors in the front, softer, less detail in the back. So we have a little bit of that going on. So if that means anything to anybody, or
It means
It
something
makes-
to me
makes
because I've
sense.
learned
So-
34 shows now, so I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to go in.
All right.
Thank you for all that, Maria.
You're welcome. So what we're going to do is let's do the sky. And this, we want to do wet on wet, transition from all of these colors up to the top. So we are going to start with that brightest point. And let's go with the, it's a 1/2-inch flat shader. So it's a, yep.
Yep.
And
Good pick on your first one.
Thank
Bob.
you.
Yes.
That's impressive.
I know.
Good so
You're
far.
natural. If you can play all of those instruments, you can paint.
Yes.
It's just practice. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with the lightest color. We're going above this horizon line. Okay, this could be a man, this could be a woman. You can change the shape a little, but dudes wear buns on their head too, so it could be a guy with a bun too. So let's start with the white, then we'll transition from the white. If you start with the lighter colors and transition into dark, you don't even have to clean your brush. So as you're reloading, they mix, you get another tone. So we'll go from white to yellow to orange to blue, and it will create this. So how heavy
Did
you
you
lay
take
it
notes,
on,
Bob?
I'm working on it.
Okay,
you'll
good.
see. So
Wet
that's
your
what we're-
wet your brush first. You
Okay,
taught
so
me,
let's
so I
wet
can
the
jump in
brush.
on that.
That's right, and then we just take off the extra water. What that does, it just wets the bristles so that the paint will grab. So we're going to take white. Just take a generous amount of white, and we're mixing right on the canvas. We're not even using our palette. So
You're
we're
the
going
advanced class
That's
now.
right. So we're coming in right, and now on the design, you don't have to do it this way, but I purposely have the light just a little bit more to the right, just to show up. You don't have to do it that way. That is the way it looks here. So what we're going to do is come in, just lay your brush down, cut in around the head, just like that. Okay? And then maybe feather it out, just blend it out. Simple, done. Okay? Very good. Now we're not going to clean our brush. We're going to take yellow. And this yellow in the sky here, because when you look at a sky, it's always brighter at the horizon, whether it's a sunrise or a sunset, because that's where the sun is. So we're going to keep this a paler yellow than this golden yellow. So let's take yellow and mix it right in. Let's first put it above the white, and then you can pull it down in. If you put it above the white, you can determine how much of the white. It's a little bit easier to cover up. So that's good. And then if you feel like I feel like maybe I wanted to just have that little hint of a little round shape as if it was the sun, then you can go back in with the white. So that's our yellow. Now we still have yellow on the brush, and when I do things like this, I just clean off the brush. So you go like this and just flip it and just clean it off.
Yeah.
And what that does is it gives you some brush strokes, it gives you some transition from one color to the next, and it cleans all that extra paint. So I'm keeping this, like I said, fairly light. And if you go over into the trees and cover some of that up, that's okay. You want that sky color to extend behind these trees. So even if you go over those lines, it's okay, you can still see them. Now we have, you're good, Alan? So
Yeah,
now
I'm
what
good.
we're doing, we're going from yellow to orange, but we don't want that bold orange. And the orange is very bold, okay? I would say at this point, maybe take a little bit of that white off your brush. There's a lot of white happening.
So,
Yeah, just
up
you
here?
can, yep. And just go straight into the yellow.
Okay.
And maybe just cover a little bit of this white right where it transitions. Yep, just blend it in. And then go all the way to the trees, even if you overlap. Now keep your white at the bottom. Yep, and just bring this all the way over behind the trees. All the way over. Perfect. Yep, and then, yep, that's good. Now we're going to dip, Alan. We're going to take one corner of the brush in the yellow, okay? And a tiny bit of orange, because this orange is much stronger. And then, so we have yellow and we have orange, okay? Now go
Wow.
above the yellow where you stopped it, and then blend those in. And you can start.
I've never done this before.
Well, if you start above, then you can pull it. See, as my brush, I'm cleaning it off. Then I pull it back down, okay? And you can do the brush strokes horizontally. You can do them more like a crosshatch technique, which is what I'm doing. But you could see how pretty that is? That looks great. It looks like clouds. Now we're going from the orange into the blue. Now this is where it's going to get a little tricky. I will show you with a different brush how intense this phthalo blue is. Okay, it's very, very rich.
Oh, wow.
Very dark, okay? So
Wow, that does
once we get it on there, there's no going back. But let's go with the orange again. Put a little bit of orange on there, okay? A tiny bit of white, a little bit of white. This is called triple loading, okay?
Wow.
And then
this is a first again. We're
yes, a
setting
little
first
bit of
today.
the blue. We can, when you paint, it's easier to add than to try to take it back off. Now we're going above the orange and just throw that all down and see what that looks like, okay? Now you can see it's kind of muddy, but again, we don't want it to be that bold. That looks great. Now what you have to do is determine which color you need to add again to blend it. So on mine, I want more the orange where it meets the blue. I might want a little bit of yellow again, and just blend them in. And what you want to do is try to have a little bit of a seamless transition where they meet. So it's just a matter of, and it's kind of scary but fun at the same time, right? So, and now I'm putting more blue at the top because I want it a little bit richer up there. If it gets a little too muddy, then just add some of the brighter colors back in. And that little, see that little mark right there? It almost looks like a little cloud, right? So I'm just leaving that in. So all of ours, they're going to look different because we have a different hand, we're applying the paint differently. And like I said, the only thing I would say is where they're transitioning. Now I have more of a, that looks great. I have a bolder line here. So now I'm going to clean my brush because it's already has too much going on. If I clean my brush, then I could come in. I feel like the orange and the yellow, I just need to take those back up in because I don't want that line so much there. You might like the line. I don't. I want it to be a little softer transition. So I just clean my brush and I just took those colors. And you could even add, I mean, you could add some of the red in here if you wanted a pinky tone. There's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of your preference, how you want it. So when you add if you add a little bit of water, it's going to blend the colors for you, but just don't add too much water. When you're working with acrylics, if you add too much water, it will lift the paint back up and take it off the canvas all the way down to the bare canvas. So I still feel like maybe I need to brighten. And if you want to lighten the value, you can add a little bit of white. That looks great. It's a very dramatic sky.
Thank you.
I like it. So like I said, it's really your call. If you want something brighter or lighter, you just go back in and then add. And I just keep adding on. I've been adding my yellow. And the designs I create on the computer just for time's sake. So they're a little more sterile looking and don't have all of the brush strokes. And I know there are ways to add brush strokes, but I don't do my artwork on a computer, so I just kind of keep it simple. It's just mostly for the composition.
No, thanks for putting that out there because some
Yeah.
people do.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'd rather play with my brushes and my paints.
Hey, you do well at it.
That looks great. That looks great. How are you doing over there? See, Alan likes his bold
Yeah.
strokes. I love it. The only thing I would suggest is maybe clean the brush and just bring in some orange into here and then let it go up in, just to
Okay.
make sure we get some of that warm color. You can even add a little bit of yellow with it. Yeah, I would even put it in the water. Just get rid of all that blue. Yep, see
Really
that?
clean it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
dry it off a little bit of orange, maybe a little yellow if you want, and just where they transition from the orange to the blue, just so it's a softer. Yep, just like right in there and just blend it in. And you don't have to worry about over blending it, but just enough where you feel happy with it. Yep. Very cool. So what do you think? How's it feel to paint?
Oh, great. I love it.
This is fun.
And I feel like, and I do teach a lot of classes, and most of the people that I teach are seniors, and they're so afraid. I'm like, just pretend you're a 10-year-old kid again, right? Kids have no fear.
That's
That's
what
why
I've been
they're so
doing,
creative.
yeah.
No fear. It's just paint. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. And then again, if you want to blend, you can take the brush. You can clean it off. A wet brush. You can even just come in and just hit it with a damp brush if you want. But I think we're good. If you feel like you want to add anything to it, even after it dries, you can add. You just have to sort of blend a little more. But make sure it's dry enough, or else again it will reactivate the paint and pull it back off. But okay, cool. How's Alan over there? We're
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So let's clean our brush and let's do this golden color behind the figure. So the yellow that we have is a little more of a lemon yellow. I think we're going to need our plates for this. So let's take our palette with just a paper plate. This has the coating on it, so it doesn't absorb as much, which works well. So let's put a generous amount of the yellow on the plate. A touch of orange. So I'm going to put that beside it. The reason for this is I'm just warming up the yellow. I want it more of like a steel or gold color. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then let's see.
It's Steeler season.
Exactly. So let's try that. So it's just a little bit more golden, and just paint in this area behind, and some of it just the way it is, depending on how it looks. You might like it the way it is, but let's just do this. And we want to cover up that horizon line, which unfortunately with the transfer paper it made it pretty dark.
Yeah, it did.
And probably the only reason to get rid of that, or the only way to do that, is we're going to have to add some white to our mixture and make sure we can come up. The white makes it more opaque, and let's try to get rid of that line. We might have to do it a second time, after this dries a little, and then blend that out. So that did work on mine. I added a little bit of white to the orange and the yellow. And that's it. So we just, a little fine here. Okay. So that's pretty simple. That's just blocking that in. If we need it a little bit more of a golden color, we can again hit that with another layer. We just want it to look a little different than the yellow in the sky.
It looks different.
That looks good. And then just block in that other side. That looks good, Bob.
All right.
Yep, you're doing good. So I was just going to say, whenever you cut in around something, and you're already doing it naturally, see, you're natural, you just, if you lay the brush down and then just pull your hand, it's a very easy way to cut in around something.
Okay.
And usually it's easier with a bigger brush, and that's what you're doing. So you did a great job there.
Thank you.
Yep, and then you can just do that on the other side.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait for you guys to finish that up, but tell me about what you do for work and fun and
Yeah.
Aspinwall. You play in Aspinwall, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do all kinds of stuff around the Pittsburgh
When do you play?
area.
What times and dates? Or
So there's two things that we do in Aspinwall. So we being my wife and I with our business, Music for Life of Pittsburgh. One of the things that we do is we do community drum circles. So opportunities for
wow.
people to come together and just be in the moment together, make music, not worry, kind of like this. It's not about playing the right notes or
Right.
making the right brush
Just
strokes,
go-
but it's doing it. We might give a little bit of structure, but we do that typically the third Friday of the month at Green Air's Holistic Health Air or Rooted in Sound, which is 209
love
Commercial
that.
Avenue. So we do that, but then also there once a month with our band Steve and the Millers with Steve Schuley, who's an amazing flute and synthesizer player. We do like ambient relaxation
Wow.
kinds
wow,
of music.
you're going deep
We
on
need to
us.
go
We
there.
do for that.
Yeah.
It's like good 45, 50 minutes of just laying down and taking in the music.
Wow.
And
That sounds
enjoying
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do that. We also do drum circles lots of places. We're at Squirrel Hill at the 1027 Healing Partnership.
My
at the
mom in her
JCC.
90s and her friends
We've-
at Little Sisters have
We've
done that
it
a
at
couple
Little
times.
Sisters,
Yep.
Schools, different places.
Wonderful.
All over.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I met you at Marianne Cornetti's
Right.
event.
Because my full-time job is working at Western Psych with
Okay.
our Creative Expressive Arts Therapies department.
Which
I
is so
help
nice that they
coordinate.
have music
It is
for the
amazing.
music and
Yeah.
the art. Mm-hmm.
So right now we have art, music, recreation, and yoga therapies.
Wow.
We've had dance movement therapy. We've had poetry therapy. There was a massage therapist.
What
for a
don't
bit.
you have?
We don't have a drama therapist right
Okay.
now, but it started with a drama therapist.
Ah, okay.
Or
Interesting.
Was with a
Yeah.
department
Glad you're
there.
going deep with us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool.
I've been there just about 19 years.
Our minds and our bodies are connected, right?
They
So I'm
are.
glad that Western medicine is finally, it seems like, finally understanding that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some Eastern here. Yeah.
that's right. Okay, so the next step is we are going to work on these trees. Now, the trees, I have a variation in the value. So these are all orange, right?
Yeah.
But this one is a little darker value of the orange. This is a little lighter. This one's kind of in between. So the tricky part here is going to, and I do have a very, very warm red, which we could probably just use for the darker tree. So what we're going to do is we just want these three trees to stand out, and next to each other. So
With the darker
whatever value of the orange you choose, it's up to you. You can keep it just straight orange as it is. Then make sure then we want to go darker. If you make this a lot lighter than it looks here, that's fine. Then you don't have to go as dark. So we just want these three values just so you could see the difference between these trees. And then we also have this back in here. But we're going to do this first because that's behind, and then we'll lay the trunks on top of the trees. So this will be very easy and fun, okay?
All right.
So with that, I would say that color back there looks pretty close to just our orange, but maybe with just a hint of red. So let's take some orange, and I'm grabbing the filbert brush, which is the curved. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. You
Yeah.
can use it for this one, but see this?
I'll
This
get
is the
that
filbert
filbert
brush. It has the curved top because when we're going around the trees, it just makes it easier. So
Okay.
you could just throw that one in the water.
Yeah.
And then this is the filbert.
Oops,
Whoops, right there. Yep. Little
All right, I
curve.
got
So
the
what we're going to
filbert,
do,
yeah.
this is a very warm red. It's not a primary red. Let's just throw a little bit of this red and mix it with the orange, about maybe half and half. And acrylics dry darker too, so keep that in mind. So now what we're going to do is just come in and block in around, and you can go right over these trunks because you'll see them through the paint. So just all the way around, just like this. Let's get that background between the trees, okay? And that's it. You're just, so these trees and everything we're doing here, it's just very simple. We're just blocking it in. No texture, no details. And that's the way I designed this, just to keep it simple. Okay, it's more about the figure and maybe the musical notes. That's great. So I'm going to keep moving along. You take your time, we'll catch you up, okay? So now we have that. Now we need a little bit of a darker value for this middle tree. So I'm going, so since I have this orange and I'm going in a little bit darker, I'm even going to add just a tiny, tiny bit of the brown. And I'm coming in, and you can see with this filbert brush why it's so nice with these curves. If you just lay the brush down like this, I'll show you. See, just lay it down and just like that. And that's how you just block in your shapes, okay? So it's all about the brush, just like when you're playing instruments, right? You have different things that you use, just like with your dulcimer. You using those little hammers, you're not using a pick, right? It's the technique, but it's also the tool that you're using. So it's the same thing with paint. So we're just coming in, we're just blocking these in. It's a little bit darker, and it will dry slightly darker. So we have the background, we have that one. If it's not dark enough, you can always add, you can always make things a little darker, you can always lighten them up. And then the little tree here, because the tree back here is a little bit more in the light, so that could be brighter, and then this one up front is very bright. So the tree in the back, I'm cleaning my brush. I'm going to take the orange and I'm mixing some yellow with it because I want this to be lighter. And now you can see when I put that up against this other tree, and you can even leave, see if I left that little bit of yellow in between, you can do that too. It's almost like it's glowing a little. You have that background coming through. But at this point, just have fun with it. You know, have fun with the colors, have fun with how you mix them, the values, dark or light, just as long as they stand out against each other. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one up front, I'm also going to make it, I'm pretty much using the orange by itself, but I'm going to mix some yellow into and see. I think I still need some yellow in there. And if some of the sky color comes over too far, some of these colors, these paints are more transparent. If it does not cover, just add a little bit of white, and then once that dries, you can always hit it again to darken it up. So you can see how I'm just laying the brush down and just moving your hand. That's it. If if we did a different design and we wanted more detail, that's where you would use different brushes and add more detail. But again, we're just keeping this very simple. You can paint right over these tree trunks too. You will be able to see through the orange. Okay, so that's that tree in the front. I have this one. I feel like this one needs a little bit lighter. And painting is just, you just kind of tweak it. It dries, you go back, you see what it needs. It usually looks a little worse before it gets better, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to clean off my brush on the bottom. Let's see, I will take some brown. I'm just triple loading my brush here.
Triple loaded.
Red, orange. I do want this darker here because this is in shadow, a little bit darker here. And this brown, I did mix red with it, so it is a warmer brown. I feel like I still want some red down on here. So down in here, I'm just mixing brown, red, orange, just all these different colors, but just so that you have some little streaks here and there that looks almost like maybe a dappled light coming through the trees. But since we're not painting this like a realistic image, you just want to keep that simpler too. And then let's see, we have that. I'm going to wait to do the black last. And then for the tree trunks. How you doing? They look good. They look great. Very good.
Oh.
The tree trunks, I'm using the brown, but I'm mixing some red with it. I don't want it to be a true brown. I want it to be a warmer.
Wow, okay.
So what I'm doing, I'm using the flat brush again, and instead of holding it this way, I could, but the trunk is not that wide. I'm holding it on its edge like this. And just, now if you do a line like this, you just see if I'm holding the brush on its edge, and just push down and let it rest on the canvas, and then you just pull your hand.
That works.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for this section here, like with the branches, you can push down and pull up and get that little tail. You can use a smaller brush. I tend to use bigger brushes. You can also start from the tip and come in, but usually if you're using this technique, you go wider to thinner, and then I'm going to come in here. Now this one is wide enough so I can use the brush flat like that because the trunk is a little wider on that one. So you could see this is just a faster, quicker, simpler composition, but it's fun, right? But once we get to those musical notes, ooh, it's going to be a little trickier, just so you know. But we'll be able to do it. Okay, that, and then I will go to my little liner brush here. Same thing, the brown and the red, and I'm just coming in. So it's almost more of a stencil look, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just filling these tree trunks in. So we are going to have to go see Bob play in his band, huh?
Yeah.
Get stage
Steve
boy to
and
go.
the Millers.
Steve and the Millers. We've been together since 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is great.
A lot of what we do is just improvised. We're making
Which is
it up as we
fun,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Even while you're playing for people?
Yeah. So it's neat
Oh.
to improvise in that space and create that music together.
Thanks for
that way.
sharing that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
So you just start playing and feed off of each other, I guess, or
I
kind
mean, we have a little bit of a plan. We have an
Yeah.
outline.
Outlines help.
And
Yeah.
then we see what happens with it. But we have ideas of.
You go by feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
That's the same with art. Sometimes, if I painted this tomorrow, I bet you I would do it differently. You know, it's just,
yeah.
it's your hand, your eye, your mood affects your music probably, right? And the art. So you can see, I just
excuse
went
me.
in. I used more of the red for the other trunks behind these trees. You can even add more of them if you want, because I don't want the little tree trunks here. I don't want those to stand out as much by having them paler. They're in the distance, okay? So the boldest ones are the ones in the foreground. So let's see, we will add another one here. So I'm just adding those in. I'm not crazy about how the graphite paper did transfer these lines a little bit darker, so I'm trying to cover those up. And let's see. Now I'm coming in with my filbert again, and I'm just coming in with just straight black. If it's too harsh, I will warm it up with a little bit of red. And I'm coming in. I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it, a little bit of a softer black. And this section in the front, in the foreground, that's the darkest, okay, because that light is behind. And then maybe just a couple little streaks here and there, and then we will take we can use the same brush to fill this in, but then when we get to the smaller areas of the figure, we will use a smaller brush. Okay. All right. And then you can see I'm just using the shape of the brush to just kind of fill this in. Now I'm going to grab I'm grabbing a smaller filbert brush. You can use, this is a 1/4 inch filbert. You can use a small filbert. You can use a small flat. We just want to come in, just block this figure in. And then we will go to the musical notes. How you doing over there, Alan?
I'm good.
I think my figure.
Just listening and trying to paint.
Yeah. And we can tweak this too as it dries, but I just want to get it all blocked in. I feel like I lost the neck on mine, so I'll have to let that dry and add some yellow in there. Okay. And then the musical notes is going to be the tricky part. So I'm going to show mine, and then we can, we'll take time and get yours done.
Okay.
So we're taking our little liner brush. We are wetting it. We always roll it like this to keep that little point. We're taking the black, and we want this to be fairly wet, okay, so that it will flow along on the canvas. Now the first thing, and I'll get you back to this, yeah. The first thing we want to do is just establish where we have this shape. So I'm just going to take one of these lines just to give me my shape. I'll go with, say, one of the middle ones, and then I know I'll be going above it and below it. So it's starting from behind the tree, and the easiest way to do this, and hopefully this will make it all the way across, is in one stroke. And that's why you need your brush to be the little tip, and you need this paint to be wet. So I'm coming up, down, up, and there, okay? Now that's the shape of it. Now, so we have 5, what is it?
5, yep.
FACE and...
EGBD.
Yes, every good boy does
Fine.
fine. That's what I learned when I was a kid.
I
How did I
learned-
remember that? I'm not sure.
I learned that one, and every girl bakes delicious fudge.
Oh, I like that one better. Oh, that's way better. Okay, so these may or may not be equally spaced, and that's okay. That's what makes it artistic, right? So we need... this one, I'm purposely not lining them up exactly the same. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, so I need 1. So this bottom one is going to swirl down like this. Okay, and then the top one, I'm starting here, and I'm going this way. Okay, and then the little musical notes. Our little G clef. Does it matter where we put that? I'll put that in here. I used to play music a little bit by ear when I was a kid. We had one of those organs that had the different color keys, little player thing. And my dad could play by ear too. So I would play with the little buttons to learn the keys. But then
Nice.
I would just sit with my dad, and we would just play by ear. I can remember one time being at South Park, the county fair, and they had a piano or something. There was some type of an organ there, and I was a little kid. I don't even know how I had the guts to do it at the time, but I guess that's why when you're a kid you don't think about stuff so much. And we both sat down and played a song together, and before we knew it, we had a crowd around us, and it was really fun. That's the only time I ever played something like that, and I wasn't that good at it, but I just knew whatever song
Thanks
that was
for sharing
that I used
That's
to play,
great.
with my dad. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
Hey, I'm having fun here.
I have a lot of admiration for people that play music and all the different instruments, and it's just amazing. And the people that do you write music at all?
I do, yeah.
So where does it come from? And just how many notes, same notes, but how many songs are in the world, right? That's
know.
what is so
It's amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. To get all of those different sounds and songs out of just the same amount of notes. It's, yeah.
I feel like for the dulcimer, I like to get a starting place,
Okay.
and I work with it, and then I just listen
Okay.
and see what sounds like should come next, and
Okay.
try
Wow,
and build
that's
it in
great.
that way. So as much as I'm trying to lead the song, I'm also letting the song lead me.
True. Does it ever come out very different than you thought it would?
Oh, yeah.
And you end up liking it, but sometimes you just have to let it flow, right?
Yeah. And sometimes the idea you start with is kind of the gateway to get you to the thing
Okay.
that you really are going to do with it.
That
but
makes sense.
kind of have to work through it
Yeah.
to get there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do all my own arrangements for the most
Wow.
part. for
Oh,
the
do you?
dulcimer. Yeah.
Hey, it sounded great today.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really cool.
It's fun just to take it and work with it and see what happens. Or you go like I just got back from the the National Dulcimer Competition.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Where
got
was
second
that?
place, which was exciting.
Second place.
Yeah. It's out in Winfield, Kansas at the Walnut Valley Festival. It's a big bluegrass festival, but they have lots and lots of different kinds of music going on and lots of competitions and things. But with that, it's fun to see, I'll take my arrangements and then go hear what everybody else is doing with theirs and how everybody's is different.
And I was going to say, and you probably don't realize how different everyone's can be until you hear it, right?
Yeah, and it's great to hear everybody do their thing and,
Wow.
and play together, and it's an
Sounds
amazing
awesome.
time.
So I was just kind of going back and forth with my little figure here. So once we block, basically this whole painting is just blocking things. That looks great. You're a natural. That looks great.
I'm
and
having
then
fun with this. I
no,
just want to
it's
get a little
good.
bit underneath the
Yeah.
person before we.
And then you'll do the figure. Just use you can use a larger brush for the bigger areas, and then just pick out a smaller. There's a couple different kinds, and then I can show you with the musical notes too.
Okay.
I think I don't have any highlights on the notes or anything in the picture, but I feel like I need it. So I'm going to do a couple things that are a little bit different. First, I feel like these trees need to pop a little bit more. So I'm just laying in a little bit of the blue in here. And when you paint, you could just spend hours and hours on the same thing, right?
Oh yeah.
We do this quickly for the show, but if you're at home or you're doing it on your own, you can spend a lot more time just picking out the different areas. But again, we still want to keep this overall simpler, the vibe of this simpler, okay? So I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take, well, first I have to have my little leaves. All right, so I have little, like the leaves are kind of blowing around in the music. So I'm still using that same little round brush. I'm going to mix some red, and again, this red is very warm, and some orange. And I'm just coming in, and I'm just going to lay the brush down and just do some little shapes here and there, as if the leaves are kind of floating around. Okay, it's there. And then I'm going to take white, going to add some water to it, and I'm just going to hit, I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not, but I'm going to try it. I feel like this is so dark. I feel like I just want to add maybe a dirty white. Just want to add a little touch right in there, maybe on the notes. I don't know, or should I keep it all dark? I'm not sure. This is what I do. This is when you're creating, you try things, right? You don't be afraid. You can always change it up. Well, I'll leave it for now. There's a little bit in there. So at this point, I'm just looking at it and just looking what needs to stand out, what needs maybe to set back, what needs enhanced a little bit. Okay. So I feel like this is done enough for now. We'll stop and we'll get these guys finished up, and then we'll check back. Okay? All right, we are back, and let's reveal our paintings. The healing power of music. You're a natural.
You did well,
Thank
Bob.
you for your help in figuring out how to do this.
Yes.
Kudos to you. You did great.
Take the mystery out of it a little bit for you. Yeah. So,
You
all
explained
right.
it to him.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank you so
here.
much for having
Thanks for
us.
being a
This
great
was
guest.
Playing
great.
instrument. We will come see you in Aspinwall. What's the name of the place? Or
Rooted in Sound or
Rooted-
Green Air's Holistic Health. It's the same building.
Great. Okay. We will definitely
simple.
check you out there and see. And then I'm going to show you guys our next episode. This was inspired. This cat in concert.
Whoa.
My guest, she's a teenager. She's very music. She plays different instruments. She volunteers. I met her at the Frank Sarris Library when I was teaching class there, and she inspired me. And these were elements and colors and things that mean something to her. So we are going to meet Bronwyn next episode. Cat in concert. This is her cat. I forget the cat's name. Okay. Thanks. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.